LinkedIn Echo Chamber. This is ML's Like Teen Spirit. Today we have Tilak Bobby with us. Tilak, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How about yourself, John?
Yeah, I'm really good, Tilak. I'm excited that you're here because the last time I met you, or the first time really, was when you interviewed me in Valencia at a conference. So I really wanted you to come back and give me the chance to interview you today. So I'm happy to have you.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. I would love to talk to you.
Good. Well, Tilak, firstly, I am building a world map of where my guests are, and I'm trying to get new locations and interesting places. Tell me, where are you dialing in from, please?
I'm from Hyderabad, Telangana, a vibrant city in southern India.
Huh?
So, yeah, that's where I'm located.
Good news. No one from India has joined me on a call yet, which means I get a new pin in the world map, Tilak. So thank you for
Awesome.
joining me. So Tilak, you're the email doctor. Um, I always start these with somebody new by asking for an introduction, please. So I know you have a successful business. If you could spend maybe 60 seconds at telling everybody, your story of your business, how you came to email marketing, and kind of what you do on a day-to-day basis, please.
Sure, that would be my pleasure. Uh, my journey took off almost a decade ago, initially hitting a roadblock in the coding realm as a testing engineer. But hey, failure didn't define me. Instead, it propelled me to where I am today, the CEO of Resolute Email Marketing Solutions. I never imagined or even thought there's a lot of science behind email. So I'm glad I'm working in the email marketing industry. Let me take you on a whirlwind tour of a few diverse roles that I played as an email marketer. Uh, Probably you could imagine me as an email doctor prescribing the right remedies to cure domains and IPs of the reputation loss, which has, and I am your legal eagle negotiating with blacklisting organizations to clear IPs and domains. I'm also your resident scientist, endlessly experimenting with content, data, and infrastructure to boost email deliverability. Oh, and don't forget the psychologist part of me, decoding the mysterious algorithms of ISP spam test. And last to mention, I'm also an engineer architecting robust email infrastructure and much more related to email. You see, I believe email chose me and bestowed upon me the title of email doctor. So if you have got any email troubles, just remember I'm your fixer baby.
We're tagging your business in, Tilak, so everybody can see this. So thank you for the explanation. It sounds like a very busy
Awesome.
role you've got there: CEO, architect, analyst, scientist. Um, I guess it makes you feel alive to work on all these different things at once.
Of course, yes, it does. I sometimes feel like a squirrel stuck in a nut convention.
Great. Well, Tilak, what was a great help when I asked you to come on and speak with me is that you recommended your own topic. I always like this because it means there's less work for me. But on the other side, means that somebody has something they are passionate about and want to speak about. So you suggested kind of decoding email marketing, and you came up with the idea of kind of presenting three things that you must be doing with your email marketing, and three things that you must avoid that you've learned from all these experiences that you've had. So we're just going to go through those, please. So we'll start with the positive ones. Um, I don't know what they are, so I'm excited to hear them. The three do's which people must be doing with their email marketing programs. Take us through those one at a time, please.
Yeah, I'm sure. So before I start, I would like to make sure that your audience know we're not talking about email authentications, other best practices that you usually hear. So do not worry, I'm not trying to bore you. But if you're an email sender, you should be very keen to listening these because these are not often discussed. So let's talk about our first email marketing do. So, when it comes to email marketing, especially in B2C, it's common for people to focus on overall metrics like the average opens, clicks, and unsubscribe rates, etc. So, as long as these averages look good and consistent, senders often assume they're doing well. However, it's important to delve deeper into the performance of specific ISPs or recipe intervals. For instance, there may be one ISP that isn't performing well as well as others. But because your overall averages are doing fine, you will assume it's going well. But look at Comcast, ATT, Outlook, go ISP wise and look at the performance. To ensure optimal performance, I recommend analyzing each metric at an ISP level at least once a month. By doing so, you can identify any areas of improvement and avoid settling for low engagement rate. And remember, aiming high performance each ISP improves an average user engagement and conversions, potentially increasing your conversions by at least 50 to 20% more than what you're doing right now.
Mhm.
So that's the do one. So let's go to the do two of email marketing. So often in email marketing, something that goes unnoticed is properly branding link tracking URLs. It's highly recommended not to send emails with random links posted on anything other than your own domain. Even relying on your ESP shared domains is not recommended. Instead, ensure that your tracking URLs are branded with your own sender domain. By doing so, you not only enhance your engagement but also bolster your reputation and protect yourself from potential mistakes made by other clients that will share your infrastructure. So stay proactive, brand your tracking URLs wisely to maximize your email marketing success. So just go check if your URLs are being hosted on your own sender domains or not. Well, now talking about the third do in email marketing. So, one of the most overlooked needs in email marketing is the importance of hiring a deliverability expert or consultant to monitor your performance consistently, like every single day, probably. Because it's essential not to wait until you encounter email delivery issues to seek assistance. Running email marketing is akin to being a patient on a ventilator. Continuous monitoring is crucial. Even if everything seems to be going well, more than 70% of email marketing issues can be prevented with the right deliverability strategies in place. Prevention is better than cure. So do not underestimate the value of having a dedicated deliverability expert on your team to ensure smooth sailing in your email campaigns. So
Tilak, thanks for that.
that's our three do's.
Yeah, prevention is better than cure from the email doctor. I love this, Tilak. And only a few weeks ago, I had Laura Sullivan here from Inbox Monster. They're in the deliverability
Uh,
space.
I
She was
have
telling
been
me
through
how
that.
important
Yeah.
it is. And I love number one, Tilak. So, like studying your results by different ISPs and these things, I always approach that as an analyst by, then looking at customer segments. So I wasn't interested in the ISP, but I was always looking at, marketers wondering, how do I, who should I personalize for? Or who should I try, which audience should I try to optimize? So I would always talk about how do we start to profile and segment all our campaigns so that we could see overperformance and underperformance. And depending on who and with which type of customer, that would be the way to get into, well, what personalization do we need, or what enhanced offerings do we need? Because without that type of insight, you're really just talking in general terms of, I should do personalization or I need a better offer. But without really knowing which customer group we're even talking about, how would we know? How would we know the right thing to build and create? So it feels like,
Exactly.
yeah, I did something really similar there. Tilak, what about the things people must avoid? I know you have three email don'ts on your list. Take us through this, please.
Right, sure. This is my favorite part. So let's talk about the do not one. So it's a common issue I hear from CEOs and founders. I receive these things on LinkedIn, and sometimes even people directly email me, and they say their own website domain emails are ending up in spam folders. Sometimes even their colleagues are not receiving their emails, like between the teams, or their regular customers are not able to receive their emails. And the culprit, sending cold emails from your brand domain. This is a big no-no. When people mark emails as spam, it can lead to potential blocks, spam issues, reputation issues for your brand domain, the website domain. And recovering from this can take a very long time. Sometimes you lost the domain for good. Plus, you can't keep changing your website domain, right? So do not risk it. I'm not saying, do not do marketing, find better ways, but at least avoid doing cold mailing through your brand domain and then ask a deliverability specialist to fix it because sometimes we may not be able. Yeah. So now coming to the do not do of email marketing. So let's talk about another common mistake that many marketers make is sharing the list of emails or your experience and the sender domains that your brand has across multiple email service providers in the hopes that it will work in at least one place. This strategy is often referred to as pray and pray, and it's a recipe for failure. Like sending multiple campaigns to the same users from different DSPs and using the same set of domains can actually harm your deliverability and reputation. ESPs and internet service providers, spam filters may view this as a spammy or suspicious behavior, leading to your emails being flagged as spam or just blocked altogether. And there's nothing you can do. So instead of taking this risky approach, focus on building a strong reputation with one ESP, maintaining a clean and engaged email list. By doing so, you will improve your chances of reaching your audience's inbox and achieving successful email marketing campaigns. So that's our part two of email marketing. Well, now on to the do not three. Again, it sounds foolish at times to me. People still believe in this, or maybe it worked at certain times, but spam filters are evolving. You cannot focus on trying to fool them. Rather, learn how they are evolving and adjust yourself, your strategies, your list acquisition methods to best practices. So let's discuss the final do not in email marketing using no reply as sender address, like no reply at the rate senderdomain.com. Come on. Some people think this gives the impression of a transaction email to spam filters, but it's actually a big mistake. And let me explain. Having a proper mailbox to capture responses from your end users is essential. Even negative responses. I repeat, even negative responses are valuable as a signal to ISPs that your emails are conversational and engaging. So avoid using no reply addresses. Instead, use a sender address that allows recipients to respond. This not only encourages interaction, but also improves your email deliverability and sender reputation. So remember, communication is a two-way street, and that's same in email marketing as well. So that's our do not three.
Good, Tilak. Thank you for that. Tilak, here's the good news. These interviews go quite quickly. So congratulations, you've nearly got through the whole interview. And the bad news is we're about to run out of time. But I'll just ask you one question before we finish.
Right.
The do's. We've got kind of profiling of results over ISP, the use of branded URLs, and a focus on deliverability. For the super busy marketers out there who might only have time to do one of those things or focus on only one of those, what would you pick as an expert in this space? Like if one of those things wasn't being done with one of your clients, which one would you encourage as the one they need to look at immediately?
Okay. Then I would really advise if you want to make more bucks and get more conversions, just go and look at your ISP wise performance. I bet you will definitely figure out there is at least one ISP that's suffering, and you focus on the reactivation for that particular ISP with various strategies. Work with a deliverability specialist, and come and tag me once this is posted on LinkedIn on the comments saying that it worked for you and you are making more dollars.
Fingers crossed. Tilak Bobby, thank you for taking us through that all the way from India. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Email Doctor and ML's Like Team Spirit. Thank you.
Goodbye.